maybe a good place to start, Andrew, is to talk a bit about why do people sell? What's going through people's mind when they approach us and say, "Can you help?"
Sure. I think that one almost has to separate the business owner themselves from the business, and I think what we've seen is there's almost four categories, if you like, that or as part of a matrix that one has to consider. And the first one is clearly age. How much time have you got left? So where are you in your life stage? That can have a big bearing. We're seeing a generational exit at this stage. So that's definitely one. And one link to that is also your energy. We speak to a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs, and their tanks are depleted. So it's time to move on to the next chapter. A very, very important one is risk. I think most entrepreneurs, particularly in South Africa, have carried the can themselves for a long time and have pretty much bet the bank on backing themselves. So there could be lots of growth opportunities, but they're just not prepared to take more risk. And the last one, obviously, is around value. How much value have those business owners actually taken out of the business? And is it time for that payday? So those four drivers are pretty common. Obviously, spinning out of that, there's thousands of questions.
There are, and I must admit, I think that certainly what I've seen is, this whole world of succession is important. I think maybe go back and maybe in other parts of the world, there's often we get family businesses and succession is dealt with through the children, and children take over. I think it's certainly what we're finding with our clients is just in so many cases the kids either aren't interested, they've seen what a hard time their parents have had in their own businesses, and they've left the country, or they're certainly at the moment living somewhere else in the world. And there isn't this natural succession taking place in these family-owned businesses. And also, I think the other side of it is quite a few of the businesses doing well in this country are in not necessarily in the most sexy industries. We've got a lot of mining services and stuff, and it's just a completely different succession route. So now, maybe just a last point on that from my experience is succession, often the best succession is done through a deal. Rather than handled through a passing down through the generations.
I was about to add to that because I think one is family, and I think we've got very, very limited examples of where the next generation got involved. But another thing is a lot of our business owners aren't great at creating succession, because it's very difficult to replace the person that built this business with one person. Their equivalent is out there, has already got their own business, and they don't necessarily have the experience and skill set to bring in the right type of replacement for that next phase. And you're right, often the transaction or the new strategic partner can play a big role in helping with that.
It actually reminds me that when we signed one of our biggest clients, going back quite a few years now, and Andrew had an article in the report, and in that article he talked about succession and how a sale can solve problems with succession. And as a result, we got a call from a large family-owned electrical wholesale business down in Bloemfontein. And it was one of the sons who was just so frustrated at not being able to move in this company. So many different there are sons and daughters and grandsons and you name it was in the business. And the idea of succession and using a transaction to solve that succession is what sparked their engagement with us. And as a result, now there are only two of the family members still in that business. It's 78% owned by an international private equity firm, but basically solved as a succession problem rather than just a need to exit. So a lot of different reasons why people want to do it.